जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद श्री चैतन्य मंगल की जय। श्रील लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Mangal reading. This is the 31st session of Sri Chaitanya Mangal, and we are reading from the Adi Khanda, Balya Lila, song number 12, and today is March 1st, 2026. In the previous song, we had seen the conversation between Murari Gupta and Damodar Pandit. Damodar Pandit asked Murari Gupta that I've had a question in my heart for a long time. I want to ask you that question. And the question was, how did Viçvarupa leave home, and how did he accept sannyas? And what are his qualities and what are his pastimes? So in that context, Srila Murari Gupta began to explain that I will tell you, dear Damodar Pandit, O best of the Pandits, I will tell you whatever I know. Then we saw Viçvarupa was the elder brother of Vishwambar. He was an abode of transcendental qualities. It is not possible for one to enlist all the virtues and all the qualities, all the pastimes of Vishwarupa. He was very learned in all scriptures in a very short time. He became learned. He was devoted to duty. He was renounced and always happy at heart. He was devoted to his spiritual master, to the Supreme Lord, to the Brahmanas. He was very affectionate to his parents. And he knew the secret of performing all duties. What is the secret behind doing all duties? Because we saw that he's affectionate to his father, mother, right? So what is the secret of doing all duties? He saw that no pious deed is separate from devotional service to Lord Vishnu, meaning he was actually, whatever he was doing, he was seeing Lord Vishnu in the creation. He was seeing the creator in the creation. So even if he's serving his parents, he's seeing his parents also as the energy of the Supreme Lord. So in that way, he was actually serving the Supreme Lord. Then we also saw how one day Jagannatha Miçra saw Viçvarupa walking home with his friend with books in his hand. And he saw that, oh, my son is now of marriageable age. He's so handsome. So this thought was in his heart. And he went home with this thought. And Viçvarupa, when he came home, and he could see that his father was thinking of getting him married. And Viçvarupa, didn't like the idea of getting married. So, what did he think? It is not right for me to marry, but if I don't marry, then my mother will be unhappy. All night long, he was contemplating. Then, in the morning, After sunrise, he took his books and left home like he would go every day. Only this time, he crossed the Ganges, never to return home. He accepted sannyas. So that's what we saw in the previous song. Now we will see today's song. This is song 13. In their hearts, Mother Sachi and Father Jagannath Mishra thought. So now Viçvarupa is gone. So father and mother are thinking, 9 hours have passed. Why has our son not returned? 9 hours have passed since he left home. Normally, after going, he would come back for lunch. He wouldn't come, but Sachimata would send because he would go to Advaita Acharya's home every day. So Sachimata would send Nimai to call Vishwarup for lunch. Today, on this particular day, 9 hours had passed since he left home, but he didn't come back. So they are thinking, why has our son not returned? Then Jagannath Mishra went to search for his son. He searched for him. He went to every house, but he did not find his son. Now the news spread from person to person, from ear to ear. What was the news? The news circulated that Vishwarup accepted sannyas. So a learned personality like that, he left home. Why would he leave home? They actually came to know that he accepted sannyas. And this news spread everywhere. The news went to you and also me, says Srila Lochandas Thakur. This news went, that means it went to every single person. Through word of mouth, it spread everywhere that Vishwarup accepted sannyas. So finally, this news also reached Jagannath Mishra. Hearing this news himself, Father Jagannath Mishra fell down unconscious. He was contemplating the marriage of his son, and now he gets the news that his son has left home, he has accepted sannyas. When Çacé-devé heard it, so sannyas, traditionally, sannyas means it is social suicide. The family members, the relatives, friends, the villagers would never ever get to see that person again. He will leave that place for good, never to return. It was as good as suicide. They would lose that person forever. Even though he's living, nobody would know where he is. This was sannyas. So that is why when Jagannath Mishra heard that Vishwarup went to take sannyas, he took sannyas means he's never going to see him again. He was 16 years old. So the father fell unconscious. When Çacé-devé heard it, she got this news. She also fell unconscious to the ground. For them, a blinding darkness covered the three worlds. Now all they could see was only darkness in the three worlds. And Sachi was calling out, Vishwarup, 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 like this. My son, come back. We want to gaze on you. Why did you leave home and accept sannyas? Like this, she was wailing, crying in separation from her son. Your limbs are so beautiful. Your feet are so beautiful. How can you travel on long journeys, walking on the roads? You cannot let even 3 hours pass without eating. A mother's heart. Just like Yashoda Mai, feeling for Krishna and Balaram when they would go play. She would be thinking, how can they, they haven't eaten. They'll fall sick. They must be tired. They must be weak, like that. So similarly here, Sachimata is thinking, she's calling out in agony, in pain, in separation. She's saying, you're so tender. You're so beautiful. How will you sustain such long travels, walking on the roads? Huh? Your body is so gentle. Normally, you can't even stay without eating for 3 hours. Now you will not find even a single sesame seed to eat. Because at home you have a family, right? Your mother, father, they're cooking and feeding you. But when you're a sannyasi, you're completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. You may or may not get. So she's saying, now you will not find even a single sesame seed. Before whom will you place your requests now? If you want to eat something, you can ask your mother. Now, where will you go and ask? Who will you request that you are hungry? Now that my son has gone, there is no peace in my heart. Moment after moment, I yearn for his return. My dear devotees, this is not just the separation of a mother for her son. We should remember her son is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not make the mistake of thinking this is just the affection of a mother for her son. The affection of Sachimata for Viçvarupa is unlimited times more. In fact, you cannot compare than the affection that any mother, the best mother in this material world, can have for her son. This is the love of the devotee in Vatsalya Ras for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what type of devotee? She is the topmost devotee in Vatsalya Ras. Yashoda Mai, she is, Sachimata is an incarnation of Yashoda Mai and Devaki. So she is the topmost devotee in Vatsalya Rasa. So this is her separation of the Supreme Lord. Now that my son has gone, there is no peace in my heart. Moment after moment, I yearn for his return. Every moment, I'm yearning for his return. When I go to bathe, I'm not peaceful. I think my Vishwarup may return. So just like the condition of Yashoda Mai after Krishna Balaram left for Vrindavan, and how she passed her days in their separation, like that. When I go to bathe, I'm not peaceful. I think my Vishwarup may return. At every moment, she's thinking, maybe my son, because when she's in the river, when she goes to bathe in the river, she's thinking, oh, my son may return, my son may return. So she's not able to peacefully take bath also. I should be there when he comes back. So like this, she's expecting that he may return at any moment. So therefore, she's not able to do anything peacefully, not even go to the river and take bath peacefully, because she's thinking, my son may return at this moment. I should be there for him. When you call out mother, that sound is more dear to me than millions and millions of treasures. When I gaze at your face, I forget myself. What sufferings did you feel that now you throw fire at my face? That now you have become a poverty stricken sannyasi? I do not know. So, this is the greatest suffering for a mother uh, when she loses a young son. Uh, and especially if he has left home, then what is the problem that he left home? What type of sufferings did he experience that he had to take such a step? So Sachimata is saying, by seeing your face, I forget myself. You're so beautiful. You're so enchanting. Simply by seeing your face, I forget myself. What to speak of forgetting my sufferings or anything? I just forget myself. What sufferings did you feel that now you throw fire at my face? So much pain I'm experiencing because you left. Why did you give me so much pain? You threw fire at my face. What was so difficult in your life? What were the sufferings that you were feeling that you throw fire at my face? And now you have become a poverty-stricken sannyasa. So why is she suffering? Of course, she's feeling a separation, but her suffering is to see that her son has become a poverty-stricken sannyasi. What will he eat? Where will he stay? Thinking of this, it's like fire thrown on her face. That's the suffering, that's the pain she's experiencing. Oh, father of Viçvarupa, now she's speaking to Jagannatha Miçra. Wherever Viçvarupa went, go there, go and bring my son home. Let the people say whatever they say. Bring my son back. Again, I will arrange for his sacred thread ceremony. Sachimata is saying just go and bring him back. Normally, once you leave home to take sannyas, if you come back home, this is very bad. Such a person is called Vantasi. Vanta means vomit. So, someone who, after vomiting, takes that vomit and eats it again. This is abominable. You don't see that. But a sannyasi who has given up this material world, thinking that these material pleasures are insignificant, right? Thinking them to be insignificant. He has given up material pleasures. Once again, after giving it up, considering it insignificant, he comes back to embrace it. Then that is just like vomiting and then eating the vomit back. It is condemned like anything for a sannyasi to once again come back into the material world, to come back to live at home with family members. So that is why Sachimata is saying, "O father of Viçvarupa," that means her husband. Also, in Vedic culture, a wife never takes the name of her husband. She doesn't call him by name. So she's not saying, "Oh, Jagannatha Miçra." She always addresses her husband as the father of her children. So here her eldest son is Viçvarupa. So she's saying, "Oh, father of Viçvarupa, wherever my son has gone, go and bring him back home." That means he's taken sannyas, go and bring him back home. That's why she's saying, let the people say whatever they say. They may call him Vantasi or whatever, it doesn't matter. I will arrange for his sacred thread ceremony again. Another point, sacred thread ceremony is like it is the second birth. In fact, there are three births for a Brahmin. One birth is birth from the mother, father and mother, biological father and mother birth. Second birth is when he gets this Upanayana samskara, sacred thread ceremony, when he is actually declared as a Dvija by qualification. By taking that sacred thread ceremony, he becomes a Dvija. And then another ceremony is by which now he is actually able to uh, uh, perform yagyas. So like this, they have three different ceremonies, births, first birth, second birth, and third birth, like that. So second birth, especially the second birth, is when he accepts this sacred thread ceremony. So she's saying, Sachimata is saying that even if he's condemned for coming back after accepting sannyas, I will arrange for his sacred thread ceremony once again, so that it's like a rebirth for him. So he'll start fresh. It doesn't happen like that. But out of her affection, out of her love, she's just speaking like this. Just bring him back home. It's not done like that. It's not right to do that. But because of her love, she's saying. So then when she said that to Jagannath Mishra said, "Oh goddess, oh Queen Sachi, please listen. Please be peaceful at heart. Don't lament anymore. This whole material world is a lie. Vishwarup is a very exalted person." So he's saying, our son is very exalted. He saw the temporary nature of this material world. It is lie. Why is it lie, this material world? The material world is not false. Like the Mayavadis say, material world is false. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, they say. That means the absolute truth is true and the material world is false. Material world is not false, because what is this material world? Material world is made of the material ingredients. The material ingredients are coming from the three modes of material nature. The three modes of material nature are the Prakriti, the external energy of the Supreme Lord. The energy of the Supreme Lord is not false. It's not false. So this world is not false. The bodies are not false. What is false is my identification with this material world. Considering myself as this body, as belonging to this family, that is false. So when somebody sees the temporary nature, that my being in this body is for some time. It's, let's say if I lived for 100 years, so I have this identity of which I get from this body. This identity lasts only for 100 years. It's temporary. And then I leave this body and I accept another body to get a different identity. So my identifying with this body and everything related to this body, the family, the community, my beauty, my wealth, my education, all this is temporary. So one who sees the temporary nature of this material world, he will not become attached to this material world. He will not seek the pleasures of this material world. Rather, he will seek the absolute truth. So Jagannath Mishra is saying, "Oh, Sachi Mata means the mother of Vishwarupa." He's saying that your son is very exalted. He's very exalted. Please be peaceful at heart. Don't lament anymore. Please listen. This world, this material world is alive. Viçvarupa is a very exalted person. Good fortune has now come to our families. Why? Because if in the family, if the son takes sannyas, the father, so many generations before him, not just his immediate parents, so many generations before and after him become delivered. So that is why Jagannatha Miçra is saying, good fortune has now come to our families. Viçvarupa is a very good son. From childhood, he was always a sannyasi in spirit. So sannyasi, again in Bhagavad Gita, we hear from Lord Krishna in the 13th chapter. Actually, not 13th, 18th chapter. What is renunciation and what is the renounced order of life? So this renunciation is actually a state of consciousness being renounced. So even though one may be in the family life, at heart, one can remain renounced, not being attached, not identifying with that family, with that body. So Viçvarupa, right from childhood, was always a sannyasi in spirit. Even though he was in the family, he was actually a sannyasi. This now externally wearing the dress of a sannyasi is just, it's just to set an example. But actually, he was always renounced. He was never attached to the material world. Viçvarupa is a very good son. From childhood, he was always a sannyasi in spirit. Please give him your blessings. Bless him that he will be always steady on the spiritual path, that he will easily maintain his vow of sannyas. Right? Don't become an obstacle on his path of, on his progressive path. He has accepted sannyas. He is progressing in spiritual life. You don't become an obstacle by bringing him back to this world, to the material world, to the family. Rather, you give him your blessings. He was already a sannyasi from beginning. It's not that today he has accepted sannyas. He's a very good son. He was a sannyasi in spirit right from childhood. You give him your blessings. Bless him that he will be always steady on the spiritual path. This is how a mother should bless the son. If the son is actually progressing in the spiritual life, she shouldn't become an obstacle. Oh, my son, you stay with me at home and, I will feed you, I will take care of you. No, no. Jagannatha Miçra is saying, you should bless, the mother should bless that the son should always be steady on the spiritual path, that he will easily maintain his vow of sannyas. Listen, Jagannatha Miçra is saying, don't think in terms of calamity or good fortune. Don't lament without reason. When a man accepts sannyas, he delivers 10 million of his kinsmen. How many? 10 million of his kinsmen are delivered, family members are delivered. If one person takes sannyas, 10 million members of his family become delivered. Viçvarupa is a jewel among men, right? Don't think that a calamity has occurred now, that you lost your son. Don't calculate in terms of calamity or good fortune. There is no reason for you to lament. This is a joyous occasion. Your son has accepted sannyas. When a man accepts sannyas, he delivers 10 million of his family members. Viçvarupa is a jewel among men. So when Sachimata heard Jagannatha Miçra's words, again she said, what did you say? Please say it again, O saintly one. She said, what? Can you say what you said again? So Jagannatha Miçra repeated, when a man accepts sannyas, he delivers 10 million of his family members. Therefore, our son has done good. So when Jagannatha Miçra said this, Sachimata heard, and in this way, the two of them felt both grief. They felt grief in separation, but at the same time, joy in their hearts that he's so exalted at such a young age. He gave up all, that's the age when boys want to enjoy life in so many different ways. And here is our son, he's so exalted, he's accepted sannyas, and by his acceptance of sannyas, he's delivered not only us, but millions and millions of his family members. How great he is. So they were experiencing joy, but also grief. How can I describe their glories? Says Srila Lochan Das Thakur. How can I describe the glories of Sachi Mata and Jagannatha Miçra? Their good fortune has no end. They had Viçvarupa as their son. By the way, Srila Lochan Das Thakur is saying, but this is the dialogue between Damodar Pandit and Murari Gupta. Damodar Pandit asked question. He wanted to hear about the glories and pastimes of Viçvarupa. He wanted to hear about how he accepted sannyas, how he left home. So all this is being explained by Murari Gupta. So Murari Gupta is saying, in this way, the two of them felt both grief and joy in their hearts. How can I describe their glories? Their good fortune has no end. They had Viçvarupa as their son. Murari Gupta then said to Damodar Pandit, now you have heard the story of Viçvarupa accepting sannyas. Repeating the conversation of these two, Lochan Das sings this song glorifying Lord Viçvarupa. So this particular song of Caitanya Mangal is being sung to us by Sri Lochan Das Thakur. But in this song, he is simply repeating what was said by Murari Gupta to Damodar Pandit. So at that time, Lord Vishwambar, so when Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra were feeling joy and grief at the same time, thinking about Vishwarup, Vishwambar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwambar was a small boy. At that time, Lord Vishwambar sat on his mother's lap. He gazed at her dear, she gazed. Sachi Mata gazed at her dear son's face. And he asked her, where did my brother go? Listen, listen, O mother and father, I will protect you. So where did my brother go? So he heard that he accepted sannyas, he left. So who will be there, in their old age to protect them? Their grown-up son has left home. So this little baby Nimai is saying, listen, father and mother, I will be with you. I will protect you. Hearing these words, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Rani, Queen Sachi, hugged their son. Gazing at Lord Vishwambar's face, they forgot all their sorrows. Lochan Das Thakur thus recounts this story. So this song 13 was the end of Balya Lila of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu as given to us by Srila Lochan Das Thakur. In the next session, which is song 14, we will begin Pauganda Lila. So Balya Lila is up to age 5. From appearance up to age 5 is Balya Lila. Next is Pauganda Lila. Pauganda Lila is from age 6 to 10. That we will begin in the next session. Thank you so much. Sri Chaitanya Mangal ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare 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 Krishna.